So I did it. I finally did it. So I switched from Android to iOS, specifically from OnePlus 7T to iPhone 12 Pro. And I've been an avid Android user for more than 8 years now. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what you should be aware of if you are thinking of moving from Android to iOS. So let's get started, shall we? A quick disclaimer, all these are my personal experience and my usage of these phones. So this might be vary from one person to the other and each and every one of you. So if you don't agree to what I say, it's fine. Don't worry, we still love you. My first ever Android phone was a Huawei phone, which I only used for a couple of months, and I started hating Huawei ever since. And now you can pause the video and go down to the comment section and put that comment saying, Huawei is the best and you are a stupid guy and I hate your face. Just do it. You know the drill. You might love it, but I don't. That's how the world works. Then I bought an Nexus 5, one of the best smartphones I've ever used. Could be also the year that it got released. It was a really good one. And then I briefly used a Windows phone and it didn't really go well. And then I moved to OnePlus, OnePlus 3T, OnePlus 5T, OnePlus 6T, and finally OnePlus 7T. And then OnePlus released OnePlus 8T. I didn't quite see a drastic difference and it didn't really convince me enough to buy the new one. So I had the option of staying with OnePlus 7T, but first I would like to upgrade to the latest one because I usually upgrade yearly and I didn't see anything promising in the new phone. I mean, it was a good phone though, but I didn't see a reason to upgrade. And the second one is the OnePlus 7T was lagging behind a little bit and it was giving some issues. And I'm not going to dig deeper in this video. I probably will never do that because I'm going to sell my phone. So I thought, finally, I will make the move. I knew almost all the complications I would face, especially from my friends because I've been hating Apple for so long and they're going like, yeah, I have to find some answers. And finally, I took the leap and I bought iPhone 12 Pro. One of the biggest motivations is seeing that iOS has changed quite a lot during the last couple of years. Maybe because I was so busy with Android, but now they are doing something good. So let's see what things I had to face while moving from Android to the other one. So I will break this video into 3 parts: the goods, the bads, and the ugly. So let's start with the goods. The first one is the form factor. I really like the form factor of this phone. This is 6.1 inch screen, but it's way smaller than my OnePlus 7T, which is around 6.55 inches screen. But I really like the boxy design and it feels super premium. Even if I put a really kind of a thicker case, it still feels smaller than my OnePlus 7T. Now, when I try to use the OnePlus 7T, I immediately feel the difference. It feels old. I know. But it's true. I'm not an Apple fanboy by any means. I rather used to hate Apple. But this is surprising. I really like how it feels on my hand. That's what she said. And I know for a fact I can still sell it, this guy, for a way higher price than I would ever sell my OnePlus phone. So that's a really good plus. The other one is the software and the apps. One of the major issues I was having with my OnePlus 7T was the instability of the apps. Sometimes it wouldn't show notifications from the apps and also lags behind when I try to pull down the notification panel or even when I try to switch between apps. I know this sounds a little bit weird, but I felt all this started happening after OnePlus released the OnePlus 8T. Well, I'm not suggesting that OnePlus intentionally slowed down the older phones. Maybe it's just because I've been using this phone for more than 1 year and this is the longest that I've been using a phone. I don't know. The point is it got slow and it was horrible. I mean, not horrible, but it was painful. But iOS, in the other hand, is quite responsive and the animations are way smoother and everything is fluid. Yes, I remember I said I won't be able to switch back to a 60Hz display again when I review the OnePlus 7T, but it's not true anymore. The animations here are way smoother and much pleasing. Oh God, what have I become? And they are way faster and responsive. The same app performs differently on Android and on iOS. The iOS version seems to be much cleaner and also much faster. Well, Opening an app like half a second faster on iOS is not a proper reason to buy that. I'm not going to do anything valuable in that half a second anyway. But I'm talking about the apps lagging behind and, crashing randomly and not giving notifications at all. It just kills the experience. And, many people say, like the profound people and the experts say, go ahead and reset the phone and it will be fine. Yes, I know it will be fine, but it's not as straightforward as it is. But I don't really want to make it a reason just to keep using that. Maybe I've been using it so long until it lags. That never happened to me. But my point is, now iOS, when I'm on iOS, it feels much more snappier and much more faster. And also, it's clean. The UI is a little bit cleaner. Yeah, maybe it's the honeymoon period of the phone because it's just, I think, 2 months that I bought the phone. But let's see how it will go. One additional thing is the one-hand usage of the iPhone. I dropped my OnePlus 6T back then on a concrete floor because I was trying to use it in a single hand and I had to replace the screen. But I don't know, Google, just fix it. Why don't you fix it? On iPhone, you can have this one-hand usage and it's perfectly fine. It's really good actually. The other one is the camera. Well, I know this is not a fair comparison, but this is all I have. And I'm pretty sure like the normal people like us, who buy stuff from our own money, will not have OnePlus 80 or Galaxy 20 and 21 and thinking of switching to iPhone 12. They don't do that. We don't do that. So when I try to compare the photos coming out of the OnePlus 70 and iPhone 12 Pro, I could clearly see that iPhone is doing a little bit better. For example, the photos from the 70 are a little bit more oversaturated, while the 12 Pro gave a little bit more of a flat profile, which I can edit later on. And also, especially with the Pro RAW feature, there are a lot more capabilities of the photos coming out of the phone. And iPhone 12 Pro is also doing really well on video recording and the video stabilization. Oh man, that's on a different level. I think that's the best I've ever seen on a smartphone. And yes, it has Dolby Vision HDR, but I'm not super hyped about it, just like like on other YouTubers. I don't really care at the moment because it's not common at the moment. I don't think even YouTube supports that, but people don't really have devices that can support HDR. You record an HDR and the other guy, you posted the video and seeing it on Instagram, it looks so I don't really think it's a good idea. But the videos coming out of this camera, like normal videos, are really good. So I might even use the phone to record the YouTube videos. So yeah, let's see. And one thing I miss from OnePlus 70 is the macro camera, which is not a huge deal though, but it feels nice to go closer and take some pictures of some stuff like ants. And the other one is the integration between Apple devices. This is only true if you have more Apple devices such as Mac computer, an Apple Watch, iPod, iPad, whatnot. You can work seamlessly between the devices, such as unlocking your device with another one, changing music source and output to another device from another one, multi-device clipboard, and a lot of more things. But the only Apple devices that I have for the moment are the phone and the Apple Watch 6 that I recently bought. I tried to use my TicWatch Pro with the iPhone, but it didn't really live up to the fullest potential. I mean, not that it lived the fullest potential when I was using it with Android anyway, but I also used the Huawei Watch GT2 and it surprisingly worked way better on iPhone compared to it was working on Android. You can check my YouTube channel and check for the most unliked video. It's about Huawei Watch GT2 and it does not really work good on Android anyway. But on Apple, it still doesn't really work really good, but at least it's not that bad. For example, it syncs stuff to Apple Health at least. Anyway, if you are using multiple Apple devices or if you're planning to buy more Apple devices, integration between them is amazing. Like amazing. Everything is super smooth and synced perfectly. If my phone is on bed mode, because that's what it's for when you go to bed, and my watch automatically goes to bed mode as well, and it even turns off the screen of the watch. And I hated the other smartwatches, including the Huawei Watch GT2, because it does not turn off the watch, and at night when I was even sleeping with all the lights off, it was still on. And this one, oh man, it's really good. And also when I wear the watch, I can make the phone not to vibrate at all, and whenever I take it off, and then the phone will start vibrating. I know these are like They have been for like quite a while now, but as someone who's coming straightly from Android to iOS, this gave me a really pleasant surprise. And the other one is the Action Center and the notification pane. It was a little bit confusing at first, but now I'm really used to it and I actually kind of like it. I initially wanted to mark this particular feature as an ugly one, but then I realized, oh man, I actually like it because you just swipe down from right to get the Action Center if you need to change some settings, and you swipe down from left if you need to see the notification. That's working perfectly fine. And I now feel that it should be there for Android phones as well. The other one is the security and privacy. Well, this is quite debatable though, but I really like the stance of Apple related to the privacy of the users. You know all about this Facebook selling user data and all the drama? Well, I like Apple's stand on that topic. I mean, it might not be a huge reason for you to buy an iPhone just because of that, but I thought it's worth mentioning. All the companies sells our data anyway, so yeah. Before moving into the next section, hear me out. Recently YouTube told me that only 0.5% of my viewers are subscribed to the channel. Well, that's just sad. It takes, quite a lot of research and especially money because I don't get sponsorships. I buy this with the electronics with my own money, my hard-earned cash. So, I'm not blaming you for that. But if you like my content, it would be awesome if you subscribe to the channel and make sure that you hit the bell notifications button to enable the notifications as well. Okay, let's back to the video and let's talk about the bad stuff. You already know the significant ones, such as there is less capability for customization on iOS, the price is high, and whatnot. But to be fair, I didn't customize my Android phone a lot anyway. I think I'm getting old, but we already know the limitations before we are getting into the ecosystem anyway. So let's talk about the other stuff. The first one is the charging cable. Well, I'm not going to rant about this guy not having a charger in the box. That's old news anyway. I'm fine with that. Even Apple is trying not to save the environment but trying to charge more from us. I don't mind. But the lightning port, the fucking lightning port. Why it's not even USB-C? This is 2021. If you want to save the planet, make it compatible with the others. And now I have to carry a charging case wherever I go. I mean, if and when I go somewhere, but it's not even compatible with other Apple devices. Apple Watch has a different charger. MacBooks now have a different charger. What the hell, Apple? We just have to carry a different cable. Anyway, let's talk about paid apps. If you have paid apps in Android that you bought from the Google Play Store, you probably have to buy them again in iOS as well. But if you have some accounts like subscriptions bound to your email address or any other account, then you are fine. For example, if you have Netflix, Amazon Prime, or even Duolingo, or I have some guitar practicing app called Tabs, that works without a problem when I try to log in with my Google account. So they are working fine. But one issue I have is with the Google One, because I bought Google One to have 200 gigabytes of storage, but I had my old pictures uploaded to Google Drive. Now, even though I still can use Google Photos on iPhone, but it's not really straightforward, right? Because now everything is going to Google still and not on my iPhone. So yeah, it's not nice. So maybe at some point I have to buy iCloud storage, but for the moment I will just stick with the Google Photos. The other one is transferring files. I still have a Windows laptop to edit my videos. I recorded a few videos of my PS5 video when I did the review, and man, it was a nightmare to copy those files into my PC. Well, hold your horses, please. I know that, if you can use AirDrop to put stuff into a Mac, it works perfectly fine. But not everybody has Macs, right? I have a Mac for my work, but I don't have a Mac personally to edit videos. So now maybe I have to buy a Mac as well. But on the contrary, I can easily transfer files from an Android phone into a Mac, which brings me to the other point of file management capabilities. Oh man. We don't have access to the file system on the iOS, and that's fine for most of the people. I mean, they don't really care, but people like, normal, a little bit advanced people, we need stuff. There are workarounds, but it's painful. One thing I really miss is restricting apps from adding images into the gallery. Could be WhatsApp, could be Telegram, could be whatnot. They keep on adding stuff. So in Android, I just go into the folder, create a file, an empty file called no media, and that folder never be scanned by the gallery anyway. And now in iOS, I have to hide stuff and go to albums and, hide albums. So the other one is picture in picture. Yes, some native apps such as FaceTime and could be on Safari, they support this. But I heavily use WhatsApp to call my family back home. And it can only go into picture in picture mode within the app. That means I can only talk with other people while I'm calling on WhatsApp. If I try to minimize, I could still hear the audio, but the video from my end just cuts off. They could not see me, and it will say like Praneeth, pause the video, and it's not good. Not just minimizing the app. If I try to open the notification pane or action center, also it just kills off my video. Maybe it's a privacy feature that they don't want to, give access to videos when the app is not using, but I don't know. I just feel it's a little bit too much. Now I have to keep on focusing on the video. I cannot do anything else while I'm on the call. Something you really need to take care of is transferring files from Android phone to the iPhone, especially WhatsApp chats. Well, it's not straightforward, especially for transferring WhatsApp chats from my Android phone to the iPhone. I had to use a paid tool called Wondershare Mobile Trans. Obviously, there are other stuff as well, but this one worked like a charm. It was just a one-time payment, so I don't really mind. I just did that and forget about it. I bought it. But there are some other open source tools as well, but I didn't really want to go through all the hassle because normal people don't really want to download some code and run some code, and I didn't want to do that. So for you, if you also want to use that, go ahead and do that. It's not a sponsor or anything. I just like the tool. That's it. Let's talk about the ugly stuff. The things that are hard to get used to, but eventually it will be fine. This kind of stuff. The first one is the camera shortcut. Oh man, I really miss this a lot from my OnePlus phone. Whenever I want to take a picture, I just double press the power button and boom, I'm on the camera. But it was also like, I was so used to it, and by the time I took the phone out of my pocket and put it like this, and it was already on camera. But I cannot really say the same for the iPhone though, because it was even a little bit harder to swipe from the right side to get the camera, and especially if you have some notifications on your lock screen, you will just swipe them, not get the camera. So it's not that straightforward, but it's okay. The other one is there is no close all apps feature on the app switcher. I realized there are like tens of apps open in the app switcher because the default swipe up gesture actually minimizes all the apps. Maybe it's a design decision. Many people also said that Apple uses the RAM really efficiently and you can really use the apps that you opened days ago and it will be loaded back again without a problem. Not quite. I cannot really agree to that because it's usually true, but not always. But I don't really care as well. I don't mind refreshing my apps, but I would really mind because I have kind of an OCD brain. I would like to have a clean app drawer. Yeah, you can, swipe with 3 fingers, but you still have to swipe. The other one is the Google Assistant. Yes, Google Assistant is here, but Siri gets the priority in iOS because why not? It's Apple. But you still can trigger Google Assistant as an app and do whatever you want. And also you can put a shortcuts to trigger Google Assistant. But I never use Google Assistant on my phone because I always use my smart speakers to do stuff. But if you are highly depending on Google Assistant on your phone, this might be an issue. But I'm happy at least I can use the Google Home app on my iPhone so I can control my, smart home devices. There are the significant ones. There are some small things like, Face ID versus fingerprint. And yeah, Face ID works really well, but, with this pandemic, it's a little bit, inconvenient. But also there is a new update coming into the watches that you can unlock the phone. A lot of stuff. You can watch other videos to get to know about that. So there are a lot more small things like that. But I don't really want to complain about everything because it's kind of easy to get used to the platform. Because at the end of the day, these are 2 platforms that you are trying to compare. They are different. Well, these are the goods, the bads, and the ugly stuff about switching from Android to iPhone 12 Pro. I've been using the iPhone 12 Pro for more than 2 months now, and I really like it. I never thought I would say that, but I really do. So the question, do I regret buying an iPhone and switching to iOS from Android? Well, no. Yes, I have to buy more stuff to get into the ecosystem, but I knew that from the beginning anyway, and now I'm prioritizing convenience over the features. And if I missed any of the goods, the bads, and the uglies, please put a comment down below and let me know what we can talk later on in any other videos. Also, let me know if you would like to see a full review, in-depth review on the iPhone 12 Pro and also the Apple Watch 6. And finally, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you hate my stupid face, click it twice, and that works as well, and share it with someone you don't like. And that's it from me for this video. And finally, it's not over yet. Be responsible and take care of yourself and stay home, stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. So I did it. I finally did it. I switched from Android to OnePlus. No, that's not what I did.